Right. Hopefully everybody can see that screen. Please feel free to shout out if you can't see the main screen here, Marketing with ChatGPT. Right, since we're sharing and we're recording, we're just going to go for it. Oops, let's go back. Okay, well, let's try this. Wow, sorry guys. I'm not a Mac user and it shows, my bad. Welcome everybody. Today for the Dexia Lunch and Learn webinar, we are going to talk about marketing with ChatGPT. Specifically how to leverage AI or artificial intelligence to enhance the return on investment on your marketing efforts. It applies to a bunch of other disciplines as well. It's obviously rewriting a lot of professions. I'm Kent Lewis, Chief Marketing Officer at Dexia, formerly Anvil Media. You can follow me on the Twitter at Kent J. Lewis and follow us at Dexia on the socials. Visit our website, dexia.com, for more information. And if you're really interested, maybe you can order one of these shirts from our shop. So I'm going to do a quick background before we get started. So I've been in digital since '96, right after Al Gore invented the internet. I was there. And in 2000, I launched Anvil Media, a search marketing focused digital agency. And a little over a year ago, Dexia acquired Anvil. And so we're just past our birthday, and it's been excited to be a part of the team at Dexia. I've also been an adjunct professor at Portland State University. That's the funky green logo, for over 20 years, where I used to teach a search marketing workshop, among others courses. And then since '99, I've had a networking group called PDX Mindshare, pdxmindshare.com. We have 12,000 members in our LinkedIn group. And I just restarted our PDX Mindshare monthly networking events. Happens to be tomorrow. Email me with questions. And if you can remember to mute yourself, that'd be great. I'm not sure how I would do that from here. Just remember to do that. And I appreciate it. If you're interested in the digital dark arts, sempdx.org is a great resource. I'm one of the original founders and the first president of that organization here in Portland. I know we have listeners from all over the country. I used to be a host for Daily Ad Brief. It's a show. And write for Smart Brief, and I'm also a volunteer instructor for SCORE, where I teach a social media marketing workshop once a quarter. Check out the Dexia calendar or email me if you want any more information about any of those elements of my background or current activities. So without going much farther, let's get into it with a quick definition of ChatGPT. It's a generative pre-trained transformer, which we'll talk about in a little bit, not the one that I grew up with watching on TV in the morning and comics or morning cartoons. It's a type of language model developed by OpenAI, which is the parent company of ChatGPT. It's capable of generating human-like text. So that's so underselling it, it's not funny. From their website, we trained a model which interacts with in a conversational way. The dialogue format has made it so easy to get answers to questions, have it develop and generate content, organize ideas, and also they have a bunch of guardrails in place to reject inappropriate requests, although there are horror stories of getting ChatGPT and equivalent AI chatbots to do and say really weird stuff. You can Google that stuff later if you want. If you're a visual person like me, you might appreciate this visualization of ChatGPT from 4-Week MBA, and it's basically there's all this data, and ChatGPT 3 is going to be significantly smaller than ChatGPT 4, which is estimated to be about 500 times larger. It'll have a more current database, a much larger database. So it stores all this information. It analyzes and understands the data through what they call transformers, which fine-tune your query. So when you ask a question, it looks at currently GPT-3 or 3.5, and it gives, and please everybody remember to mute yourselves, especially if indigestion or a cold. And then Instruct GTP is the human loop element interface that keeps it honest and clean, bottom line, but that's one way to look at it. And then there's sorry if you didn't bring a monocle or a microscope, but these are a bunch of the generative AI players in text, video, images, code, speech, and other, including 3D. But for the most part, ChatGPT is focused on text, although it can organize data, and there are other AIs for image and video and so forth. ChatGPT does really well with code as well. My son relies on it to finish his computer projects, programming projects at school, cleaning the code, etc. Hopefully he's still learning despite the power of chat. So how do you use it? They've recently upgraded the interface. I was playing with it the last couple of days, and now it has what you call these AI PRM prompts. So people build these prompts that allow you to sort of cheat the system, and they create the framework of the instructions so that when you enter in an output language, a tone, and a writing style, and hit go, it'll generate what you need. In this case, these examples are an optimized SEO optimized article, an outrank article, similar, different prompts. Midjourney is the visualization tool. So this is to help you with your Midjourney visualizations, and then get a monthly content calendar in one click. So the things that we've done at Dexia and Anvil before that take hours or days to put together, take minutes or seconds with ChatGPT. It is not a replacement for humans. It's an amplifier. It's an extension. But there are all these widely available prompts now, both online and within ChatGPT, with the AIRPM prompts and templates. You can build your own, and maybe other people can use it. You can make yourself famous that way. Right now in the system, you can save all your chats, your queries that generate results, and you can even export them. It's a little tricky because they're .md files. So if you don't know how to use those, and they typically export effectively into chat, unless you have, text, unless you have a reader. Markdown language is what it stands for. It can be a little tricky. Some people just copy paste or screen grab, which is what I was doing. So being in the world of search since '96, I've been watching this closely, as has the digital team at Dexia, and there's a lot going on. So Bing came out with a tool integrating chatbot and GPT in particular, and it's Bing / Microsoft's getting a ton of press and well-wishing from the that want to believe in the underdog, which it's funny that Microsoft's an underdog at anything, but that's true, particularly in search. Everybody's always liked Bing, and now there's a way to love it because of their integration with chat, making it really smart. Then there's Google's attempt with Bard that was initially a failure with some major issues. That won't, don't count them down and out yet. They move quickly. More recently, the last couple of days, DuckDuckGo released its own ChatGPT-powered search tool kit they call Duck Assist. And the impact of this, Bing also recently said they may be replacing answers in search with chat. So that's yesterday's news, literally. And then the cost of chat is massive for Google and Microsoft, because it's the AI chatbots are going to cut into use of search, how search is generated, and how advertising revenue can be gleaned out of a new type of search behavior. And I asked, will ChatGPT make an effective search engine, or I or others? And they're saying, well, it's better at this, it's not better at that. And in my appendix, I have a study of running a bunch of different searches on ChatGPT versus Google, and which one won based on accuracy and usefulness. We'll get to that later. But generally, the tiebreaker goes to ChatGPT, and that's literally not a small development project, and it's taken years to refine. But at the end of the day, Google is billions and billions of dollars into perfecting their search, and chat just came in and is flipping it upside down. So what are some of the limitations for now? There are plenty. So you've got a limited database. The ChatGPT 3 has no data after 2021. So that's a problem. A bigger problem is it represents incorrect information as fact. If you are not sure what that looks like, have ChatGPT have it do a 400-word or 800-word bio for you. So I ran one for Kent Lewis, CMO at Dexia, and it said I did things that I absolutely did not do. It was a different Kent Lewis, or I had a limited brain trauma or amnesia, but it's absolutely confident that it's telling you the truth. It thinks it is, even when it's not. And there's inherent bias both in the programming and in the database. So there is harmful content that they've tried to filter out, but it can end up influencing results. So whether it's your instruction that can screw with it, or it's the content that's available, or the bias in the algorithm that was generated by humans, there are some issues there that they're trying to perfect. The bigger issue is copyright and trademark issues for the content that they've scraped off the internet. They are, especially for the visual AI tools like Midjourney, they're mashing up different images that exist out there and creating a custom image, but the artists aren't getting any compensation for that, nor is anybody that's creating all the articles and content that ends up being a part of the articles that you ask it to create for you. So there are some issues around all of this, the legality and the economic engine of chat that needs to be resolved. Also, just kind of bigger picture, if you think of HAL from 2001, it does not have the ability to solve complex problems. It's not a sentient being at this point. You can also trick it with puns and poems and brain teasers. So it hasn't figured all of that out. But I know that's just a matter of time that it'll get better and better at solving complex problems. Right now, it's a very conversational tool, and that was what it was designed for. And many people don't know that it actually doesn't understand its own output. So it is telling you things, it's regurgitating and synthesizing things and saying, but it doesn't have an understanding of what it's actually saying. And again, that could be down the road. It may be maybe many years before that becomes a thing. And then, Google has been wary of ChatGPT and other AI tools that are creating content. They're trying to say initially, like, you're going to get penalized if you use ChatGPT to create content. Then they're saying, well, you can do it, but it just needs to be good. And they're just trying to figure out their position. But the best answer for those that have an SEO background or interested in how you would use it to create content for your website and other online channels like social is the content that you generate initially with ChatGPT should be heavily edited to be consistent with your voice, your position. It's all 100% factually, confirmed as accurate, and that you change it enough so Google and other AI sniffers don't consider it fully AI, so you don't get penalized if and when that becomes a thing. According to NPR, Microsoft's new AI chatbot is saying some crazy unhinged things, so you can Google that article, and I think I've actually hyperlinked. So when you get a copy, we will post this on our YouTube channel, but we will also be able to provide you a PDF of this presentation as a follow-up for those of you that have registered. And so you can read these, any articles, almost all of them are linked, so you can go check those out. So if you're going to be using ChatGPT, for those of you, I didn't prepare a poll of how many of you have actually tested ChatGPT firsthand, but initially the first month or so, January into February, I could only access it on off hours, like at weird times. I wasn't willing to pay for a premium account. Most people are not. And then also the prompts, you have to really practice to understand how to properly phrase a prompt to get the answer you want. That's why these prompts, these templates are really helpful. Here's 4 more. Optimize your Google business profile for Google Local, 15 business profile posts, so you can do the static posts in your Google Local listing, right? SEO-friendly product description, that's helpful. YouTube Video Script Pro, so you can create scripts for your videos. Pretty nuts what this thing can do. So it can transcribe, it can translate, it can do a lot of different things. But these prompts make it easier for you to get what you want because somebody else has gone through the pain to create these templates that are publicly accessible. You can utilize additional prompts. So the generative part is, I say, give me 20 keywords about senior care, and I say, now organize those keywords. Now write an article based on this subset of keywords. And you can keep using additive approach to fine tune your results to get the best outcome or output. It's also really good for creating summaries and organizing your prompts. So basically summarize this information, build it into categories or groupings, summarize it in bullet points, summarize it in 2 paragraphs. So you can create literally like abstracts from, say, speaking engagements or white papers. All of that can be done easily. And then there are a bunch of AI plugins you can download for Chrome that leverage the capabilities in your browser, which is pretty slick. And lastly, again, AI PRM prompts templates are like the next big thing. And you no longer have to search the internet for prompt ideas or instruction. You can just go right into your main page within ChatGPT and just start playing with the prompts. You can do keyword search to find certain prompts that you're looking for. And I'll show you later a few examples of ones I ran as we get down into this. So you're asking yourself, if you're a marketer, you're saying, what can I do with ChatGPT? And the reality is you can do a lot, and you can do it far beyond marketing. It has much broader ramifications. As you know, some universities and high schools are changing their curriculum. Like essays are done. They're part of the past. Although there was a high school student that developed a script to quickly assess whether something is generated by AI or not. So as long as AI gets smarter, those sniffers are going to have to get smarter. The old AI stuff, the ChatGPT-2 and other chatbots, you can tell when it's garbage. It was not very good, but this 3 is really good, and 4 is going to be exponentially better. So what can you do? Obviously, the one I like most is use it for research and use it for inspiration. This is what, when you have creative writer's block and you have a blank page or a blank canvas for your drawings, you can use ChatGPT and other visual AI tools to inspire and get down a path. Or, give me an article about Willamette Valley Cabernets, which I did for the Wine Institute, or the Willamette Valley Vineyards Wine Association. Is that you could start with an article it generates and then heavily edit, and then you have a new piece of content for your blog, etc. So content marketing is the next step, and that's easy. The question is, how are you going to tune it to make it really good? Website optimization, we'll get into each of these in examples in the coming slides, but every aspect of optimizing a website can be aided by, if not heavily assisted or even completely done by ChatGPT, depending on how good the prompts are. I like the idea of being able to use it for data analysis and reporting, so summarizing data, organizing data, or organizing your insights, so it will streamline and create better reports. So yeah, again, are we in danger of losing our jobs as digital marketers or creative directors or graphic designers or photo video editors? No, but anybody in the creative profession or marketing profession that's not using ChatGPT is likely to be out of a job in the next 5 years. But those that use it and understand what it can be done with it will be far more likely to be more effective, earn more money, be more valuable to their employer. So content personalization is still being understood. How you can do mass personalization if you have, let's say, a list of 1 million email subscribers, or you get 1 million visitors a day, you can, in theory, rapidly personalize content on a website, in a newsletter, using ChatGPT as a way to create the information that I'm interested in, and only that information. More is being done in that area that's not as public. It's a very competitive space. Process automation. So once you've documented a process, can it be augmented or taken care of by ChatGPT? I think the low-level assistants, the VAs, are going to be in trouble, because a lot of things can be done, from booking meetings to prepping for meetings, through ChatGPT. It's not foolproof, but smart VAs are going to use it and then lower their costs to stay competitive, or add more additional value on top of that. And then, of course, customer service. I'm a big fan of a good user experience, a good customer journey, and it's really powerful. Hence, the term chatbot was really always associated with web-based customer service. And now they can go next level with their intelligence, and you wouldn't know that they're not human, is where it's going. That's where, yes, you are going to lose some jobs in the customer service space, primarily abroad versus probably here in the US, because it's all been largely outsourced. But these are some of the main areas. So let's go deeper into examples of each. Research and inspiration. So I want to generate an idea list. So I've been talking with a company in the senior care, elder care, in-home care space, and I just said, give me 20 keywords with the topic of senior care, elder care, and this was the list. Then I said, organize it by type, and it broke it down into 4 or 5, and I'm just showing you the first 2 types of care and caregiver support. So that helps you organize content. It helps you inspire, like what kind of blog posts or product pages, service pages you're going to create. It can help you on the optimization side to know what your focus keywords are. So generating idea lists, summarizing long lists. You can also organize lists into groups, which you can see there on the right. You can expand on various subtopics. So as you use the additional prompts, you can say, well, tell me more about memory care. Give me 10 stemming keywords for that, and then group those. So that's one area. The other is content marketing. So how to use ChatGPT for marketing. This article I wrote and posted on, I did not write, sorry, I posted on my LinkedIn profile, was completely written by ChatGPT back, and you can see in January, I was testing it. And it's like 3 or 4 paragraphs about how ChatGPT can be used for marketing, which is the prompt I gave it. And it gave me about 400 or 500 words. And at the very end, I said, this was written by ChatGPT. What do you think? So you can check that article out as well. And I think, yes, it's hyperlinked. Well, you can create articles and blog posts. I'll only say it one more time, maybe 2 or 10 more times, it is not the final, it's not replacing your copywriters. It's giving copywriters and those responsible for creating copy that are not professionally trained to rapidly create starting points. Like, in the gardening business, it would be starters, right? That's what it is. It's not a finished mature plant. It's the start. It's the seed that's sprouted and then build from there. So for articles, blog posts, it's a starting point, not a finished point. And you can tell when something's been AI written to a degree. Some's better than others, but you can tell when, say, our talented copywriters at Dexia write something, it is definitely does not feel like chat. It's very unique and has a certain voice to it. And that's the important thing, is voice consistency. FAQs, that's where I think it's high value, because it's low value to regurgitate. This is a question, here's an answer. ChatGPT can do that very effectively, and then likely tune it for accuracy. And I say here, and facts, FACTS. The idea is you could say, give me 10 facts about senior care, senior living, or ChatGPT, and it's going to regurgitate 10 of those. And you can say, now organize them, and then write an article about them. So you can use the fact prompt to get facts on any topic. I tested it with ad copy, which I may show you later. I don't remember if I added it in here. But to prepare for a call, I just thought, let's throw some, let's see what some sample ad copy would look like for Google Ads. And it did okay. It did all right. Our team does better, but it's okay. It's a good start. You can definitely hone your product descriptions or your product pages. So you have your content, you give it the input, and it gives you a better answer, a more tuned up description. You can create social media content for posts. You can translate existing content to other languages. That's super slick. So you can have a global website now for virtually no cost. The translation localization services are in for it, because while they can say we have in-country people that know the nuances of the culture, ChatGPT is learning from what they've done. So they'll say less, but I'll say it's 80–90% accurate, which is really good for small business that can't afford high-end translation services. And then summarizing existing collateral. If you're looking to create abstracts, so if you have gated content like a white paper, you could have it create a 250 to 400 word abstract that you can then put on your landing page, and then optimize that to help get rankings for something that's actually gated by using it for summarization. And then leverage image and video AI tools, right, to get that full experience. So our design team and our video photo team at Dexia is playing around with this stuff, but you're not going to replace them as skilled artists and professionals as much as we're going to be able to expedite and iterate more ideas faster and better. They will be more successful getting better outputs for our clients. On the website optimization, so for those of you SEO nerds out there, you can have it write keyword optimized title tags. I've tested it, it works. I would tune them from there. I wouldn't take them whole grain. It can write the longer form text meta descriptions that show up in the search results. You could use it for schema. You can also use it to create, revise, or optimize existing site copy. So that's really handy, again, similar to revising product page copy. You can even have it identify link development opportunities. So give me a list of sites in senior care, elder care. You could even give it further prompts to get publications or other types of specific types of sites it should be able to identify. And you can build out link development lists from there. You can also develop landing pages quickly for A/B testing. So clone this page and focus on this offer, and it will give you a revised landing page. And then you could create 2 or 3 and do multivariate testing. So that's pretty exciting. And then lastly, for the super duper technical out there, you can at a code level use ChatGPT and equivalent for HRE our href language tags, htaccess redirects, and robot text files. So every technical aspect, every front-end copy asset can be optimized or tuned. So you can see here are more prompts that you can use in ChatGPT. E-commerce SEO, audit existing content for SEO, product-related SEO information, article writer. There's so many article writers, so that you want to be the best article writer, right? But I think by default it will defeat itself when you can see the views and any comments and how many likes. You can use that to determine which ones you might want to test, similar to social gamification. On the data analysis and reporting, you can use it to fetch and analyze data, which is super cool. You can use it for composing spreadsheet formulas, correcting formulas, and building formulas. You can use it to configure even pixel conversions for your ad campaigns or your marketing, generate regex tags for your search console. So again, that's more of a technical approach. And I have full respect to Alita Solis for her amazing writing on ChatGPT and what you can do with ChatGPT for SEO. She's amazing. And I have some links back to her at the end of this in the appendix. And you can have it analyze sentiment, which I did recently when I was evaluating hotels. I gave them 3 hotels and say compare based on price, ratings, and reviews, sentiment, and it put that together for me in 5 seconds. It was amazing. Helped me decide which hotel to stay at. So the other is summarizing data for reports. So I had it analyze Dexia.com for SEO, and you can see below I used notepads. You can see that it looks kind of more chat body. One of the weaknesses of our website is it lacks external links pointing to the website, and then explains why that's important. We know that, and I'm working on that myself by generating more press and links back in. But that's a case of how long has the website been around and who are we targeting, et cetera, in order to secure those links. It's the hardest part of SEO. So this is not a surprise, but this is a really helpful thing. If you don't know SEO, you can just use prompts to kind of audit and get yourself going. But in the end, somebody's going to need to actually help you through that. And that's where the Dexia team would come in, for example. In terms of content personalization, I touched on this is the least publicly available insights out there, but for your website, you can leverage your Google Analytics or your website analytics for that. For your emails, you use platform data. So, we use HubSpot, we use MailChimp. There are other tools out there. Use that platform data, export, feed it into ChatGPT and GPT and help you get some good insights there. On social, it can be, again, each platform data. Each platform has data. There's aggregators like Hootsuite and Sprout Social. You can do your own primary, secondary research to help inform the content that then ChatGPT will use for inputs. And for your ads, you can use the platform data from Google Ads, Bing, and Meta. You can use competitive research on what the other competitors are doing and have it analyze that. And then lastly, obviously, product pages or your service pages on your website using analytics and a mix of competitive research. The image below, the visual is just kind of reminding you which channels you should be looking at. And this is just kind of a general multi-channel digital marketing slide across paid, earned, and owned. But it reminds you that ChatGPT can be used for almost any and all of these. Find affiliate marketing partners or websites in this industry. It's up to you to test and see what you can come up with. It's pretty remarkable. And then there's process automation. So I think you start at the bottom, the low value activities, because if you're doing like our brand strategy team, our creative team, that's the hardest to beat and replicate with a chatbot and AI. So that's the safest part of the Dexia team right now, and actually filming video and taking photos. These engines can only do things with existing content. They can't create new content other than amalgamation of other existing content. So low value activities, highly repetitive tasks can now be automated within seconds. Who can see this transcript? Oh, I can see the transcript. Simple actions. So uncomplicated actions can be easily replicated in ChatGPT. Please make sure you're on mute, everybody. Thank you. Basic summarization. So you can see here, I asked, what can ChatGPT automate? And it gave me a list. language translation, content generation, chatbot development, like building more of them, more of the Terminators, sentiment analysis, speech recognition, text summarization, image captioning. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what it can do. So it can not just summarize, it can analyze and sort. But the idea is that if you can create document standardized procedures, then you can use the ChatGPT to actually do some of those, carry through some of those activities. And then there's the customer service enhancement, right? So chatbot, everybody's familiar with it on websites and in emails, and to a lesser degree on social media, because that's typically third-party platforms. But you can use these chatbots, and you can see here that a third find it's useful, but you can see that 43% is need room for improvement, or I find them irritating. So that's still a vast majority, 67%. So it's in the minority, and this is May of last year. This is before ChatGPT took off. So this is going to change rapidly. So this says February 2022. You know, we've come a long way, and just since December when ChatGPT 3 launched. Benefits, of course, it's cost effective. It has infinite scale, and it can be totally seamless if it's designed properly. There's been a lot more customer rage happening. That's an article I read today. You see like more fights on airlines and, you know, all kinds of nonsense. And then fewer and fewer people are getting the phone support that they want. So this can step in and fill that gap and soften the blow from all this cost cutting that a lot of brands are doing. So I'm gonna give you a couple quick examples. This one is, I said, just give me ad copy for the term elder care. And I just picked the top 10. These are this is ad copy that's compliant, the 80 characters or 90 characters or whatever it is for Google Ads. So you can see here, 15 headlines, 4 descriptions. I used the prompt and it generated these. So are they genius? Maybe, maybe not. Are they similar to what we would write? Absolutely. You can only, with 80 characters, you can only do so much with spaces. So this is a great starting point. So ad copy is a great place to start with testing ChatGPT. Another example, I went a little bit farther, and I actually had it using the prompt for a keyword strategy. It gives a keyword cluster theme. It gives you the keyword, the search intent, which is pretty cool, the title, and the meta description. So all of that within proper tag count. So we used to do this for 800-900 pages for back when we worked with Borders Books years ago, or ebags.com. And we had to do all this manually. Now we could generate these tags with existing pages and then fine tune and tweak them and save a ton of time. And then my final example would be Alaska Airlines. If you watched the Oscars on Sunday, you may have seen this. It is basically, you can watch this ad, and it is hyperlinked, or just Google Alaska Airlines AI ad. And basically this agency had inputted the existing Alaska Airlines series. There's 2 characters, Tan and, Tan France is the main character. And they created a whole nother ad. And it's, as the Max Eastman, who's a creative director at Mechanism, he thought, let's try this and see what happens. And he thought the output, this script, which scrolls through and they read it, there's a voiceover. It's hilariously formulaic, slightly inhuman, but certainly it's noteworthy. And again, it can help inspire, inform, and communicate, but left alone, it's a little bit funky and more than likely clearly created by a bot. So that, in a nutshell, are the main areas of how you can do marketing with ChatGPT, and then a couple examples. And now I'm just going to show you some additional resources before we open it up to Q&A. So these are some articles that I wrote or I used as source material that weren't already appearing in the main presentation, including an article about ChatGPT 4 and how that's going to be different. It's very technical, kind of hard to read. What's remarkable about ChatGPT is the growth. It took them 5 days to get to 1 million users versus Instagram at 75 days, Spotify at 150 days. So it just went bananas, and that's without any real marketing, just word of mouth. That's what happens when you have a remarkable tool. In terms of the investment, right now, generative AI is less than 1% of venture capital funding at just over $2.25 billion. But that is going to change dramatically. It rose 20% this last year. Well, actually, it fell in VC funding, but we're going to see a lot more activity in this coming year because everybody now knows what AI is and what ChatGPT is, And that's going to, I think, foster spin-offs and other supporting businesses and therefore more investment. In terms of another visualization of how fast ChatGPT got to where it is, Netflix took 3.5 years by comparison to reach 1 million. 3.5 years. Now look at them. Everybody's sharing the same password now. Dollywood Wad predicts OpenAI website is ChatGPT platform. It looks at the growth up to February 4th. OpenAI versus chat. So it's interesting to see the stutter step approach to their growth. And then I had ChatGPT put this together for me. I said, compare ChatGPT 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so you can see what year they were released. And you can see they're out of order. ChatGPT was released in 2021, but 1, 2, and 3 were 18, 19, 20. So 4 is 2023. And you can see the parameters got exponential from 1 billion to 175 billion. I think it'll be like 500, 600 billion or more for 4. Sequence length is going to probably double, triple, quadruple again. You can see all these different comparisons. So I thought it was pretty helpful to see how these languages compare. And you can see there's a lot we don't know about ChatGPT 4. So keep an eye on that. And then here's how to train ChatGPT, and knowing that these prompts and templates make it a lot easier. But this is a cheater if you want to become a power user. And here's what I promised earlier. If you're comparing ChatGPT versus Google, and the feedback is that ChatGPT is amazing, pretty good, okay. And Google is pretty good, followed by amazing, but you can also see chat is also horrible or pretty bad in areas where Google does not have badness because of the years, decades of refinement. And then an example from PC Magazine, this is linkable, is where they felt who won and why. And this is just one of like 30 elements, different searches that they looked at and they evaluated. So it's kind of helpful to see the difference. So we'll get in, if you register, we will get you a copy of this deck. But if you're either impatient A or B, would prefer to have a conversation, or you don't see it within the next 2 or 3 days, just reach out to me, Kent at Dexia, and I'll get you a link to the PDF copy. Highly recommend you check out our monthly newsletter, sign up for that. And on the Anvil site, anvilmedia.com, we haven't ported everything over, so we have a huge insight section that will be moved over time to Dexia.com that has more and more information, articles, white papers, cheat sheets, etc., that you might want to check out. So that wraps up the presentation. I am happy to go to questions if you'd like. Let's do that. So let me see if I can see anybody has any comments here. I see, go ahead and add your questions to chat. The first question was more of a comment. Will you be sharing out the deck? Yes. The recording will go out on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and then shared through social in the next 24, 48 hours. And then the deck should be sent to any registered attendees. So we'll be working on that as well. And then thank you. That was amazing. I appreciate that, Stephanie. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? No? Okay. And then I could see that the transcript recording was on, so that's good. Maybe ChatGPT. Oh my gosh. I just realized my video was off the whole time. I'm so embarrassed. Sorry about that. Maybe you can thank me if you don't want to look at me. Bridgetta, thank you. Glad you liked it. Thank you, Lauren. Everybody, we hope you will check out the deck and the links built in, and you can share the recording with your friends and family in the coming days. And check our calendar on Dexia and our socials for our upcoming Lunch and Learn webinars that are free for everybody, folks like you. We appreciate your time. Thanks, everybody.